Imagine this. You're high in the Ural Mountains, late January 1959. The wind is a monster. Temperatures plummet to -30 Celsius. Every breath is ice. The world is endless snow and ancient peaks. This is nature at its most unforgiving. Now picture yourself inside a canvas tent, the fabric groaning under the blizzard's assault. You're with your friends, feeling safe, until something happens. Something so terrifying, you slice your way out of the tent, leaving boots and coats behind. You run into the killing cold, driven by primal fear. This isn't fiction. This is the Dyatlov Pass Incident. 9 experienced hikers entered the wilderness and never returned. Their final moments are a puzzle, clues frozen in time, scattered across a desolate mountainside. The mountain keeps its secrets, deepening the mystery. The signs left behind are confusing, contradictory, and disturbing. They point not to a simple accident, but to a night of terror and desperation. It's a story that pits human courage against an unknown enemy, and the enemy won. What could drive skilled adventurers to such madness? The silence of the snow still holds the answer. To understand the tragedy, you need to know the people. Led by Igor Dyatlov, a meticulous, confident engineering student, this was no group of amateurs. They were 9 skilled hikers from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, athletes, explorers, united by adventure. Their goals: ski and hike over 300 kilometers through the northern Urals, aiming for Otorten Mountain, whose name ominously means, "Don't go there." They trained, planned, and dreamed for this. Their diaries and photos show camaraderie, laughter, and purpose. They were exactly where they wanted to be. If a group this prepared could meet such a bizarre end, what hope would anyone else have? They knew the dangers: hypothermia, avalanches, getting lost. Yet, in their final hours, they broke every rule of survival. Something pushed them beyond reason into a desperate fight for their lives. The mountain would become their tomb. The journey began with optimism. Photos and diary entries show smiles, jokes, and teamwork as they trekked deeper into the snow-drenched wilderness. They built shelters, skied frozen rivers, and even created a satirical newspaper for laughs. On January 31st, they cached supplies at the pass's base, planning for a light ascent. No sign of trouble, just careful planning and routine. The last photos show them digging a tent platform on Kholat Syakhl, Dead Mountain. That night, February 1st, was their last. The final diary entry is calm, noting their position and dinner. No hint of conflict or fear. 9 friends huddled for warmth, sheltered from the wind. Then, in the darkness, chaos erupted. When the hikers missed their check-in, concern grew. On February 26th, searchers found the camp, half buried, eerily silent. The tent was slashed open from the inside, not the outside. Boots, coats, supplies, all left behind. Why would experienced hikers abandon everything in sub-zero cold? Footprints led away, some barefoot, some in socks, walking calmly toward the forest. No signs of struggle, no evidence of outsiders. It was as if they willingly walked from safety into the night. The tracks vanished into the snow, leading to the tree line. The abandoned camp, the cuts in the tent, the orderly footprints, clues to something far stranger than a simple accident. The search for the hikers had just begun. The mountain's silence was now a scream for answers. What drove them out? Under a cedar tree 1.5 kilometers from the tent, searchers found the first 2 bodies, stripped to underwear, hands burned, branches broken high above. A makeshift fire had failed to save them. 3 more bodies, Dyatlov, Kolmogorova, Slobodin, were found between the tree and the tent, as if crawling back. Slobodin had a fractured skull. The others died of hypothermia. Why were they so far from shelter, so exposed? Months later, the last 4 were found in a ravine, buried under snow. Their injuries were horrific: crushed skulls, broken ribs, no external wounds. Dubinina was missing her tongue, eyes, and lips. Some clothing was radioactive. The official verdict: death by a compelling natural force. The case was closed, files classified, the area sealed. But the world demanded answers. The mystery only deepened. What force could do this? The avalanche theory is the most logical. A slab avalanche could have struck the tent, forcing the hikers to cut their way out and flee. This explains some injuries in the orderly retreat. But investigators found no avalanche evidence. The tent was on top of the snow, ski poles still standing. The footprints showed calm, not panic. An avalanche doesn't explain Dubinina's missing tongue or the radiation. Why would Dyatlov camp on a risky slope? The avalanche theory is rational, but the puzzle pieces don't all fit. Nature's fury is a powerful force, but is it the whole story? Something still doesn't add up. When logic fails, darker theories emerge. Some say the hikers stumbled into a secret Soviet weapons test, explaining injuries and radiation. Others point to infrasound, low-frequency winds causing panic and irrational fear, driving them from the tent. Then there are the paranormal theories: strange lights in the sky, whispers of UFOs. Each theory tries to explain the terror, the injuries, the bizarre clues. But none fit perfectly. The military theory lacks evidence. Infrasound explains panic, not injuries. Paranormal ideas are speculation. The truth remains elusive, hidden in the snow. The mountain keeps its secrets. We're left with questions, not answers. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case, again blaming an avalanche. Officially, the mystery is solved. A tragic chain of natural events. But for many, the explanation is too simple. It doesn't account for the injuries, the missing tongue, the radiation, or the strange lights. The Dyatlov Pass Incident endures because it defies easy answers. It's a chilling reminder of nature's power and the unknown. The story forces us to confront our limits, to wonder what secrets the wild still holds. 9 hikers set out to test themselves against the mountains. They found something else waiting in the cold and the dark. Their story is both inspiration and warning. Would you dare to face the unknown?